Hey guys, can you believe this facial animation has been created from only an Android video? There is no depth camera, nothing, and you don't see wrong. Yes, I am using Metahuman performance with only Android or any kind of video, actually. We are gonna do some crazy stuff today, and let's see how we accomplish this. Hey guys, today we will be talking about how to create your own facial mocap with only Android 4 or any other camera, which you don't have to have an iPhone or HMC like head-mounted camera systems, which are only available for Metahuman performance. But we are gonna use Metahuman performance with any kind of video or any kind of frames. Which sounds crazy, yes, because I think no one ever tried it. So, and we will get a really good result. So, basically what we are gonna do is we are gonna trick Unreal Engine and we are gonna say, yes, this video is taken from an iPhone. And we are gonna give you a depth data. And actually it is gonna create a really good mocap animation for us, basically. So before we start, we need to understand what happens if you ingest any kind of iPhone video. So probably you will see something like this. You have an audio, you have a calibration, you have some lens files and some image sources for video and depth. So if you open this video frames and depth frames, looks like they are empty, but actually they are not. If you open them, you will see them here. And if you go to depth frames, you will see EXR files. I will explain everything what's going on here. So if you, for example, if you open media source, yes, this is a normal, this is depth. If you open it, this is normal image sequence. And if you open this depth, you will see some weird thing. I mean, what's happening here? The first time I have seen this, I said the same thing. I said, like, what the hell is going on here? How the Unreal Engine knows about the depth values? Actually, this is really simple because actually we are not seeing the real depth data here. This is just an RGB display, but actual depth data is written in Y channel. So what do I mean? Why I am talking very weird? So let me explain what this EXR means. This EXR file type is actually is an image file, yes, but it is a bit different from JPEG or PNG or any kind of different any other image formats, because, like, for example, JPEG, you can hold 3 channels, which means RGB, which means a pixel color value. But for example, PNG can also hold an alpha channel, which means for opacity. For EXR, actually, you can write any different, let's say, integer value in any kind of channel. For example, I can write 100 value in Z channel, or like 25 value in Y channel, or I don't know, B channel, C channel, it doesn't matter. So Unreal Engine, actually, I investigated and I found out that these EXR files in Unreal Engine, the depth values are written in Y channel. So let me display it really quickly here. For example, this is the same thing, but it looks a bit different, right? Because this is the Y channel visualization for that EXR file. So for example, if I hover to my nose, you will see down there it is 19, and if I hover my shoulder, it's gonna say 26. It means, yes, it is a bit further from my nose. So actually it has a really proper depth values in this file, in this EXR file. So what we are gonna do, yes, we can create the image sequences. This is really easy, but we are gonna create the depth maps for each file as well. So how are we gonna do this? Let's start. This is a norm, this is a basic, nothing here, just the content. There's a map, an empty map, which is here. We have a metahuman, we have metahumans here, which is a test human, this lady. And in the content folder, in facial capture, which is empty, we are gonna create it together. Then I will explain it and you will understand everything what's going on. So for example, if you have already created a mocap before, you need a calibration. Like you need to create a metahuman identity for it, which means that you are just shaking your head and you are saying, okay, this is my face and I'm gonna record my video with this face, basically. So we are gonna create the calibration. So let's create the same hierarchy. Let's say a video, we will have a video frames here. Let's create depth, we will have depth frames here, and our final result is gonna be a footage here, capture data footage. So if you don't have this plugin, I mean Metahuman plugin, probably you need to enable it. So our idea is creating this footage, but before creating it we need to create the other dependencies for it, because this footage is actually a really plain thing. So let me create something and open it. There are some views, there's audio, camera calibration, and some other things. We are gonna fill them. And let's remove this for now. So here, what we are gonna do, I will share this repository in the description. There's an iPhone lens calibration file, which is mh equal, I don't know what this means, but actually this is a JSON file. So what kind of data is written here? This has some lens, the camera lens properties, basically, like depth dimensions, video dimensions, or like instinct matrix, which is being used for example, in iPhone camera there are two cameras. The first one is just capturing the RGB data, which is a normal video, and the second camera is a depth camera. So this instinct matrix is being used to properly match between these two, but actually we don't care about this, because we are gonna calibrate it, because we are gonna create the depth data in the end. So we don't really care about this, but still we need a calibration data to say the Unreal Engine, okay, this is the calibration file. So get this repository and let's say reveal in File Explorer. So you need to actually drag and drop this guy here, and actually once you have done it, you will see this calibration and lens files already. Let's save them all. We don't need to do anything about them, because just we are gonna give this guy to the facial capture. So we have depth, video, and the other thing is image sequences, image media source. Let's try to add it here. Let's say image media source and click it. I will call it IMS. Let's say video. So actually this is some kind of a sequence with frame sequence. So this is gonna be my video sequence. I will just copy path. I will come here, sequence path, paste it, content. I will change it to, let me do it quickly, slowly. So once you paste the path, it's gonna say /game, but actually this is wrong. So remove the /game and say content. And we are gonna overwrite this frame value, this frame rate to 30 FPS, and then save it and close. So we need video frames here, and how we can get it. Actually there are so many ways that you can get it. I can show you with Blender, for example. With video editing, just drag and drop your MP4 file and change it to JPEG and just render animation, and you will get the there are so many videos that you can get it. So I will, for example, I have already exported my frames here. I have 274 for calibration. The only important part here is just make sure that you have this exact dimensions for like 720 and 1280. This should be this is very important, because in calibration data we say yes, this is our RGB frames, and also for depth frames we are gonna create it as well. So copy all of these values into this video. Just click here, show in Explorer, and just paste it. So if we open it, actually now we have our image sequences, which is fine, and we can close it. Now we need the depth values. So what we can do, we can create it. Actually, I created a Python script. I really don't know how to write Python. Basically, I just talked with ChatGPT and I said, this is what I need to do that kind of alignments and something, and I like end up with getting a face mesh from media. Where is this? Let me quickly show you. I think, yeah, that map processor. This guy is doing the almost everything. This is, yes, MediaPipe. MediaPipe is a Google library which can extract your face landmarks. So, and also it has a base mesh in it. So what we are doing here is I am reading your image. I am reading the image. I am extracting the whole landmarks, which are 478, I think, and I am applying these landmarks to base mesh, and I am just creating a depth map from that base mesh, and I am applying exactly into your face, and I am exporting it into the expected dimensions. So once you open it, we can create it. Let's go to images. Let's reveal an Explorer. Probably we have different things here. I will just delete them. And also depth map, it should be empty. So here in face mesh, we are gonna be working with these two folders. In images, just paste all of your image frames, all your video frames here. So once you have done it, there are two things. The first thing is create single sample and display. We can change, you can change if you have a different namings, for example 001, let's say. And if we run it, you will see something like this. So actually it is getting the original image, it is creating a face depth map for your face. Actually this is the normal like a default mesh, and it just puts exactly in the same position on your face. This is what's happening here. So there is only thing that you need to be aware is you need to make sure that the face mask is exactly matching to your face. For example, maybe you just took the video from a bit far away and maybe in a different angle. Just make sure you can play around with these values to match it perfectly. Actually, this is our calibration here. But mostly you don't have to do any kind of things because it's already calibrated to an iPhone camera. Just make sure that it is fitting perfectly to your face. And then actually, so you can change, mostly you can change around with this face scale factors and margin if you are a bit away from camera or for a different angle. But for this one, just leave it as is. And if you're happy with the things, that you can copy this and go to convert images to depth maps and paste these values here and then run it. This is gonna maybe take a bit time, but we don't have that many photos, so it should be fine. Okay, the processing complete. So basically we have the depth maps right now, and we can actually get this depth maps and put it into your Unreal Engine. So in face mesh, in depth maps, we get these EXR files. So let's copy them and let's put it in calibration depth folder. Okay, now we have depth sequence. So let's go to Unreal Engine and create it. I will just copy this IMS video and I will just IMS depth, and I will just open it and I will just change the latest part to depth. and I will try to open it. That's totally fine. It looks like there is empty, but because we didn't write any RGB values into this file, but we have the correct values in Y channel, so Unreal Engine will understand it. Also, just make sure that this is 360 and 640 dimensions, because this is how it is written in calibration. Actually, we have everything that we need for calibration footage, I think. So let's go and create it. Let's type footage, capture data footage, and I will say CD, let's say calibration. Let's open it. And here, something that we need to fill. The first thing, get the calibration data and put it. And here in views, we need to add a view. Let's open it, and it requires an image sequence and depth sequence, which we have already. So in depth sequence, go to depth sequence, and video is gonna go to image sequence. And what else? Let's double check. Actually, you don't need to do anything about here, but here in metadata, we also need to mention this is width. It should be 720, and this is 128. Frame rate, put it 30, and this is device class is very important. This has to be iPhone 14 or later, because I don't know, but while it is processing on Metahuman backend, it somehow it's doing something with this device class. So if you select unspecified or something different, probably you will have some issues, maybe some crashes, and it's gonna be fucked up. So don't do that. Put iPhone 14 or later. Device model, it doesn't matter, but this device class is important. So once you have done it, save your CD calibration, and now actually we can create our Metahuman identity. For example, in facial capture, I will create it here. Let's go to Metahuman animator and Metahuman identity. Let's say MHI, let's say test. Let's open it. It is gonna ask us how to create components, and we can say it's gonna be from footage which we created. Let's select it, and it is gonna load our image sequences and depth sequences. And actually, yes, it's working. And here, for example, I can display the depth mesh. See, it exactly matches with my face, and even with any landmarks I'm doing. So actually, I can create a metahuman identity from this one right now. So maybe you have already know this if you are creating it, but let's see. I will just do it for this one. I will say this is front, and I will just go here. I think this looks fine. I will say right. I will create another from maybe somewhere here, left. And also, if you have another pose for teeth, you can also add it. For example, I have somewhere around here, I guess. Let's add it. Yeah, actually, this is the same process which we are doing in iPhone, but we are doing with Android phone. So let's go MetaHuman identity solve. And then let's select any body type and go to mesh to MetaHuman, auto-rig the MetaHuman identity, because we just need the face area to actual capturing the facial mocap. It is gonna go and talk with MetaHuman backend, and it's gonna create a skeletal mesh for us. Okay, the skeletal mesh with embedded Metahuman DNA is now available. Let's click OK, and we will see how our Metahuman looks like in a moment. Let's save this one and see. We have a skeletal mesh here, which looks like a normal human, which doesn't look like me at all because I used a media pipes default mesh for the face area. So it is probably, if you are doing the same thing, you will get the exact same result, which is fine because we are gonna use this skeletal mesh to create mockups, so we can create sequences and use them in another in different metahumans later on. So let's close this one. So here we have a metahuman identity, and we can prepare for performance right now. This is gonna take a bit time. It depends on your CPU because this stupid Unreal Engine still using CPU. Why it's not using GPU, I don't know. Just go make a coffee or do something. Okay, I think this is done. Okay, we have already prepared it for performance, and we can save it and close this one. Now we can use this metahuman identity to create our mockups. So let's create another folder here. Let's call it mocap. So what we need is, we need another depth and video sequences for our like actual expression video, let's say. But for these three things, we don't need to copy everything. Just copy these three only, because we can change them. For example, we can call this CD mocap, and we can create our video, and let's say depth sequences. For example, here IMS depth is gonna change to the mocap. So let's open this. Here it was in calibration, but it's gonna be mocap depth. So let's change it and let's save it. And let's go to the other IMS video and let's change it as well. And let's save it. And let's go to CD mocap, and we need to give the correct sequences right now. So depth is gonna be this and video is gonna be this. And actually we have already copied and everything is fine. Let's save it and close it. So we need another video, so let's get it. Let me check which one is smaller. This one is 800. This is too much. Let's take this one. This is 400. This looks fine. So I copied all frames like as I did before, and I will just go here to the video. It's show in Explorer, and I will just paste it. And now I have the video sequences here. Let's open it. Let's try to open and see. I'm, for example, talking here and I'm just doing some expressions. That's it. And it looks fine. So in IMS depth, now we need the depth maps for them. And what we are gonna do, we are gonna do the same thing in face mesh, in face depth AI repository in face mesh. I'm just gonna remove all of these images. We don't need them anymore. I will just paste the new ones. And here depth maps, which are the old ones, I don't need them anymore. Delete them. And I will go to here. I will also display one of them just to make sure. Just a quick information about here. Probably once you have created your calibration, once you have created your metahuman identity with the calibration video, just make sure that the face area is exactly on the same in the same alignment with the mocap animation. So I just like I created these two videos like after I created the calibration, so that's why my face looks like the same exactly. Just make sure again this fits fine, and let's go to convert to depth maps, and let's convert all these files to depth maps. Okay, processing complete. So we have the corresponding depth maps in face mesh depth maps. Let's copy and let's go to here in Mocap depth, show an explorer. Let's paste it. Okay, actually, we have already have what we need. So let's create a new Metahuman performance. I will call it like performance, and let's open it. So my footage is gonna be mocap, and my Metahuman identity is gonna be chai test. So here, let's go and check how our mesh looks like. Let's try to play around and see. Actually, this is actually really good. And also you can check with the footage together, seeing that it is exactly matching with your face. And then the only thing that you need to do is, I will just click here and click process. So when it is being processed, actually you will see it is really processing really nice. See, for example, here in Unreal Engine is already doing like smoothing, like eye tracking, or like any cleaning operation with the animation, which you are not getting with any other softwares. So just use Unreal Engine proper tools. But just if you don't have an iPhone, yeah, you need to trick Unreal Engine. So yeah, we have the facial animation right now, which we get only from Android phone. And see how it looks like. For example, here in U position, which is really, really good. Even maybe better than the iPhone itself. I mean, yeah, actually now we can export the animation. Let's say AS performance, which is fine. I'll just call it like this. Face archetype skeleton, that's fine. Let's create it. Okay, and if we go to here, for example, I can use this animation in any Metahuman. For example, let's go to use animation asset, and I can select its performance. And if I click it, see, this is much better than the other techniques that you are getting from Android phones. See, and now we have a really good animation capture with only Android phone. I mean, like, why the Epic guys are not doing it? I mean, why they are rely on not useful Android depth data? Like, even for example, in MediaPipe knows, for example, in this U position, it knows that my lip landmarks a bit far from the normal mesh. So like this is even like if we go to depth mesh, you can see, I mean, it knows that it is far, it is looking in front. So like why they are doing with some calibration, and why they don't support any kind of videos to just create real good mockups for this. That's really interesting. But yeah, I mean, we can use it. A few words about this repository. Like, I initially designed it for training an AI with image or with landmarks. So like basically I will give some face landmarks and I will expect a depth map prediction from my trained model. But unfortunately I was not able to get a good results with it because I have no idea how to train a model, or even I don't know how to write Python. I am a Java developer. So if you want to dive into here and want to figure it out, and maybe you want to improve, please do it, because this doesn't work. And yeah, this face mesh is a bit quite a reliable version, reliable way to create depth maps. Okay guys, if you have any questions or suggestions, or maybe you have a different ideas to do this approach, but I think no one ever tried to do this with only video, which is possible, as you can see. And yeah, the only thing that we need is a bit depth map, which it can be created very easily, basically. Yeah, let's discuss more on the comments. Let me know if you have any problems, issues, or suggestions. Okay, thank you guys. See you later. Bye bye.